KDKA.
Special programming on KDK Radio. Pittsburgh Works. It's Lauren Klein, Coldwell Banker, Murraysville. It is the Pittsburgh Property Diva. The winter market, lots to get to, ladies and gentlemen, including buyers and sellers assist. What does it mean? Well, I hope you'll stay tuned. We're going to find out about all of that and more. But the whole idea behind the program is for you to call in and join us, whether you're watching this live streaming on her Facebook page, Pittsburgh Property Diva, Pittsburgh Beautiful, of course, her husband, Chris Klein, also here manning the controls, or you're listening on the radio. You can phone in at 866-391-1020, Dollar Bank Instant Access, kdkradio.com, or you can text us on the Right Automotive line, best deal in town. And you know, Lauren Klein, when I think winter maintenance. So let's begin with winter maintenance, right?
Good morning. Yes, well, it is winter for sure because I had to pull out my...
I wonder what this... So that's winter, right?
I had to pull out my furry coat and my boots this week. Yes, it's wintertime, and I do have some important homeowner maintenance tips, especially for right now. And the first one is, and I didn't do this last year, and thank God we didn't have a pipe burst, but the outside, the access faucets, to your hose bib outside, shut the water off to those. The last thing you want is for that pipe to freeze and, leak down inside your foundation. So turn the inside faucets off that lead to your hoses outside. Change your furnace filter. My guide says monthly. Some people do it more frequently. Some people do it less frequently. But if you haven't changed your furnace filter, your furnace will work a lot better if you do change it frequently. And it won't work as hard. And your air will probably be a little bit cleaner too. Something else that is kind of scary to me is your dryer vent. A lot of people forget about the dryer vent. It causes a lot of house fires. So if you haven't had your dryer vent cleaned that leads to the outside of your house, now is a good time to call somebody to clean that vent out if you can't do it yourself. And some of the pipes are really long, so a lot of people don't know how to get them clean, but there are places you can call, and they'll come and clean it for you.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dryer vent cleaners.
Yeah, like the lint that collects in the vent that takes...
Well, when you have OCD, that lint after every single time I use it, it's
do you
gone.
Laundry?
Oh, yeah. See, every day.
I do laundry every day, too. I clean
because you know why? It saves you from having to do a whole lot of laundry.
Right. My mom likes to do laundry. We grew up doing laundry once a week. We have to sort all the laundry, and then like all day Saturday, we do laundry.
Listen, I don't want to say that we had a tough time when I was a kid, but if it wasn't for the lint, I would have had nothing to play with. Times were tough back then. Really tough. Look, it's a brand new lint ball.
It's like
for Christmas.
A rubber band ball.
Right. But there is so much. And, here's something else, too. And I just got a gas bill in the mail the other day.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like heat on, heat off now. And I need new windows. I mean, it's a beautiful house. I love my house. But, I don't know how people that really have to really struggle, and God bless them all, pay their heating bills in winter time.
Yeah, it's really hard. And when you like your house a certain temperature, sometimes you get the bill at the next month, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to put 2 pairs of socks on and a sweater, wear a hat around the house.
That's what I do.
Because it's so expensive. Yeah. But there are some things, that can save you money, like heavy drapes. If you have if you need new windows.
That's a great idea.
Get some heavy drapes, and you can get them anywhere. Walmart, investment out of the gate, but it'll save you some money over the long winter months. And
I got some beach towels from Dollar General.
Get some duct tape and tape them on.
Why not?
On the window.
Create a whole new style. You know what I mean?
You're a trendsetter.
You have to be.
You are.
But see, little things like this that you talk about is what really separates you from so many people that I've met in this industry, because it's not only about getting the sale done, but making sure that people get the most out of their home, and you want them to be able to save. And the way you save is by doing regular maintenance, so you don't have a major problem.
That is the truth. And if you follow like a seasonal maintenance schedule for your house, and you do different things in the spring than you do in the summer, and then in the winter and in the fall. And we're talking about our heavy mechanicals, your furnace, your hot water tank, gutters. If you haven't cleaned your gutters and they're filled with leaves, then when it snows and it thaws and then it's water and then it freezes, then your gutters get heavy and, one will fall off the side of your house. It's really expensive to get it fixed. Get somebody up there. If you can't do it yourself, clean those gutters out on a regular basis when these leaves are falling off the trees like they are.
And listen, just because we both have a lot of respect for the guys from True Value, we talk about a product gutter stuff, which is minimal as far as the price. It can save you in the long run. There are other wonderful products out there. But if you can really build a relationship with someone at a store that you can trust to become your friend, even if you're not really used to doing this on your own or you understand it. Look, my dad had a list.
What's gutter stuff?
Oh, you'll love it. Basically, it's the original foam filler that you basically bend shape, you mold into your gutter, and it stops all of that debris. And it also, because it has a sponge-like material to it, it prevents a lot of the ice dams that build up, too.
So is that something that True Value can install, or do you install it yourself?
You can install it yourself, but if not, I'm sure Andy and Mike, and you've got to go to those True Value stores to get it. It's really an incredible product.
Never even heard of it. So look, you learned something new. It's called gutter stuff.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's like the Hydro Block.
Oh, amazing.
When Andy told me about the Hydro Block, I thought this is the greatest thing ever. But nobody knows about it.
When Andy told me light bulb, you screw it to the right, that was life-changing for me.
Thank God for Andy.
Oh, my goodness. You're right. Hey, listen, I do want people to phone in at 866-391-1020 because, replacement windows, all sorts of things, winter maintenance, we want to talk to you about that. The plastic around the windows may be a little late. Obviously, you're getting ready to put some decorations up, something you may want to think about. You don't want to use a roofing nail because if you're thinking about selling your house, you don't want to have to go back and, go over all of the stuff that you did just to have a little joy during the month of December. But we also are going to get into buyer-sellers assist, which I find amazing. And she does want to take time for a bit of a family note. We're going to do that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, if you want to phone in, 866-391-1020, Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com, or you can text us on the Red Automotive Line, best deal in town. About a minute before the break, where is the market right now? And you're working hard for that great company, Coldwell Banker, out of Murraysville.
Well, I'm still putting listings up now. And I think, to me, it seems like the buyer traffic has slowed down a little bit. Interest rates are...
Holidays, too.
Yeah, it's the holidays. People are busy. Interest rates are up a tiny bit. But I have an appointment to show 7 houses tomorrow. So, people are always out looking and selling and buying.
And you're always...
And I'm always grateful.
That's right. 412-628-8286 if you want to call her directly. But, if you're thinking about putting that house up for sale and you want some do's and don'ts, pick up the phone, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back. Pittsburgh Property Diva, Lauren Klein on KDKA Radio. right, listen, as we are back with Lauren Klein, Pittsburgh Property Diva, some family news that is not good news, but I know you wanted to take a little bit of time for the family.
Thanks, Rob. And now with Thanksgiving approaching, it's really time to count our blessings and take care of our neighbors and our family and our friends. And that's never lost on me. It's a really important part of my life. And this past week, we celebrated the life of my uncle, Bill, Billy McLaughlin. And for those that knew him, he was a special, interesting, and really, really neat guy. And I just want to say thanks to my family and my friends and everybody that supported us and took care of us this week with their love and affection. It was very, very touching. In honor of my Uncle Bill and his specialness in our upcoming holiday, I am going to give away and deliver 5 turkeys. So anybody who needs a turkey can go to my Facebook page, Pittsburgh Property Diva, and just put your name in there. And I'll reach out to you for your address, and I will have that turkey delivered to you on Wednesday in time for your Thanksgiving holiday. Aww. So you go to pittsburghpropertydiva.com. If you need a turkey, I will have one delivered to you. I'm giving away 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
How about giving away a house? No.
Now, you know what? Yeah, I would give away my house.
Can we mic up the incredible Chris Klein for a moment? Because I had a question for him, because you talked about interest rates, and this gentleman is not only a whiz with cameras and all of the stuff that you see at Pittsburgh Beautiful and Pittsburgh Property Diva, which they are streaming now live on Facebook. But finance industry, real estate is what he did for years, and really a smart guy with numbers. And I said, interest rates going up a little bit, is that a concern? And he gave me an answer that I've never heard anybody give in the industry. I've never heard on a newsreel, clip, video, you name it. And this kind of gives everybody hope that there's always that silver lining. So if you will, Mr. Klein, tell the audience what you just told me about interest rates going up and how light at the end of the tunnel might not be as bad as people think. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I told you, Rob.
Yes, you do.
Stop it.
Yes, you do.
No, what I said is
refinance.
Refinancing. I mean, rates going into the 6s or the 7s. That's more of what I would consider a natural interest rate. 30 years ago, a lot of people remember this. Some people don't. Rates were in the mid to high teens, and as they came down, of course, the housing market did really well. But from a business perspective, from a banking perspective, a couple things. First of all, as rates go up, your savings rates go up, and I know that they seem to creep up over time, but still, you are making more money on a savings or a money market. And also, as those rates go up, that does give people will always purchase homes. They need to have a place to live. They get relocated. They get a promotion. Their family gets bigger. They purchase a home. So if rates remain low forever, the opportunity to refinance or maybe get some relief or lower your payment or free up some equity, it's not as great. So as they go back up, the silver lining is that at some point, everything moves back and forth in the economy. At some point, they will come back down, and anybody who's purchased a home, they'll have an opportunity to refinance and save a little bit of money. So there is a silver lining to that.
Right, and despite the gradual increase, those rates change every day. There are still many opportunities for people who want to buy a home, who have taken decent, good care of their credit, and have a job that pays them a decent salary. You can buy a house, and I try to do everything that I can to set you on the path to homeownership. Even if you call me and say, I'm not ready to buy a house right now, what do I need to do over the next 6 months or the next year? Because I really don't want to rent forever. I can get you in touch with somebody to help you make a plan to get your credit cards paid down, or, build your credit up. Open a credit card and use it for your groceries and pay it off every month.
Well, look, this is just my thought process too. I'm a fan of what he was talking about. I'm a fan of finance. I'm a fan of the banking industry. And every payday when I go to my bank, West Banco, or I have friends in the banking industry. Hey, it's good for the banking industry. I mean, you've got wonderful professionals working there who are trained in banking. You can actually talk to someone, sit down, always have that smiling face when you go to the drive-through window. It's capitalism. It's great.
Yes, it is, and it works. It works. Otherwise, people wouldn't. Without the banking industry, people wouldn't be able to buy houses. So, it's like a triangle. Chris and I were talking last night. We have a real estate agent, a buyer, and the bank. Unless somebody's paying cash, you need the bank. So, and they look for good credit and they look for steady income. And if you have those, then we can make it possible for you to buy a house to save your money.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this too. Majority of the banks that I've been around are always the first to step up in the community too, to help support things and to sponsor things. So it's I don't know. It's seamless. It works, and it's a good thing.
There are lots of great opportunities.
Now, explain to me, winner buyers and sellers assist. What is that?
Okay, we call it seller assist in the industry, and let me just start at the beginning. Sometimes I talk with people and I say, if I'm on the buyer side, I ask them, do you need seller assist? And depending on the type of loan that they get, they can ask the seller. The seller doesn't have to give them seller assist, but more often than not, I see contracts come over where a buyer needs seller assist, and that is the seller helping the buyer with their closing costs. And I like to use this example. If a buyer comes to me and the bank has said, you qualify for a $100,000 loan, and I say, do you need seller assist? Yes. What kind of financing do you have? Well, I have FHA financing. Well, you can ask the seller for up to 6% seller assist to help that buyer with their closing costs. So they need to come to the closing table with a minimum down payment of 3.5%. On top of that 3.5% are closing costs. You have to put money in an escrow account for your taxes for the next year, your homeowner's insurance for the next year. And the bank wants those accounts funded at the time of closing. And then you have a bunch of other miscellaneous closing costs on top of your 3.5% down payment. So the seller assist goes toward the buyer's closing costs. And sometimes it gets very confusing. I'll go into it in the next segment in a little bit more detail and how the sellers can break it down where it makes sense to them. And I have a lot of sellers who are irritated by it and confused by it. So we can talk about that.
We are going to talk about that. Plus, we have a winter home tip from Bill in Moon Township.
Excellent.
When we get back after this very brief break. Melinda Roeder here checking the latest news. Lots of folks still dealing without power because of the severe weather. She'll be here in just a couple of moments. Then we'll be back. If you want to join us, 866-391-1020. Next hour, the good folks from UPMC Life Changing Medicine. So we continue on this Saturday edition of Rob Pratt at KDK Radio.
Hey, my day is today. Are you going my way until the rising sun?
All right, I am ready to take a caller on the Pittsburgh Property Diva Show with Lauren Klein. He has been waiting patiently. Let's go to Moon Township and say hello to Bill. Bill, welcome to KDKA Radio. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, I just want to pass along a little experience from about 5 years ago whenever I got my late father's house up for sale and had to make sure things were kept up and no leakage problems, et cetera, over winter. Very handy thing if, especially if you need to keep an unoccupied house or even other one with regular gutters, something called a roof rake, where you
Roof
can actually
rake?
clear the snow.
Yeah.
Yep, immediately above the gutters. I got one of those anytime it snowed, made sure I cleared above the gutters. And since it had the old style gutters, without any heating cables or anything to keep it clear, I got some little Tupperware containers at the grocery store. I put a little bit of calcium chloride, a little bit of water, let it kind of harden up, and then after I cleared the snow, I would just go and throw these up in a few critical places, and that would just kind of break up, and then it would just keep the gutters flowing.
Well, that's an excellent tip. Thank you so much. I love learning new things.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Bill. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we've been talking about roof rakes on the True Value Home Improvement Show for a while.
Oh,
You really should start to team up with Andy and do some videos and have your
you're
husband.
not kidding, because he has so many handy gadgets that he's introduced me to. I need to just spend more time with Andy.
He's brilliant.
Learning things
Andy.
I can pass on to my my
Listen.
clients, because that's what I like to do. I like to be in the know so that when I go and visit people, I can share this stuff with them. And Andy is an excellent source of information and product that makes people's lives a lot easier.
Well, he started working for Mr. Evie when he was 15,
Wow.
and he's now 33.
Uh-huh.
So, no. I don't know where I come up with 33.
Yeah.
But he's been doing it a long time. But think about it. Anybody can get a house, but the maintenance aspect of the house, the reason our dads and your dad's still doing it today is because you save money.
Well, and with routine maintenance, everything lasts longer. So spend a little time and save a lot of money on the back end, and it'll be a better investment for you. And none of this stuff really takes a long time to do. So, and I'm talking to people now who are, I have appointments next week and the week after, clients who are ready to list in the new year. So we're talking about all of these things right now to get their house in tip-top shape so that when the time comes, they are ready and the house is ready.
All right. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to take another call here in just a little bit. But if you want to reach her directly, 412-628-8286 is how you can do that. Holidays will be gone very soon. And, I've often said I still think it's, like the automobile industry. It's a great time to buy a car. It's also a great time to share your house because your house is never going to look as good. Obviously, you have to approach it a little bit differently. But you want to get into the early part of the spring market. Due diligence, things we were talking about, winter buyer sellers assist. We can talk more about that in a little bit. But what can people start doing now so they can get a hold of you and say, look, all the decorations are away. I'm starting off a new year, and I want to get this house up and on the market.
Well, I would say enjoy your holidays. That's what I'm telling everybody right now. Enjoy the holidays. After Christmas and between, Christmas and New Year's, when people typically take a couple days off work to relax, spend those days making a plan and decide what you need and what you want to get rid of, who you want to give it to. Do you want to have a house sale? Do you need a storage unit? When I list a house, I really like it in perfect shape for photos, and less is more 100% of the time. I tell everybody, if you have a garage that you don't mind parking your car in the driveway for a month or so while you get the things out of your living space, where I'm going to be taking pictures, or actually my photographer is going to be taking pictures, not me. Use the free space that you have, unless you absolutely need a pod, or I use a company, My Way Storage, who does an excellent job. They come and drop off a box in your driveway. You fill it up. They come and take it away. They put it in storage, and they deliver it to your next house. A lot of people find that very helpful. To some people, it's a little cost prohibitive. So if you have some extra space at home in your basement or in your garage, use that space. Start boxing things up, especially like your Christmas decorations. Don't put them back in the attic. Put them in the garage or in your storage space Start cleaning out those spaces that you have stuff that you don't know what you have.
Is this all? Listen, you're just such a wealth of information, and I'm just sitting here, and your husband hears this every day, so he's used to it.
Yes.
But this is just eye-opening every time you're here. Is this just because of years of seeing this unfold in front of you?
It is, and I think the more time that I have to prepare a seller, depending on how long they've lived here in their house. Some people have lived in a house 5 years. Okay, it's a little bit easier for them to kind of get organized and pare down. Some people have lived in their homes for 40 years. It's a little trickier. You have a lot of stuff. You have your kids' stuff, your grandkids' stuff, stuff you don't even know you have. The longer I have to spend with you and get you prepared, the easier the whole transaction will be. And once your house is on the market, once I have it listed and we're in full swing, I have you completely organized and on the path. It's getting there that is sometimes the really hard part for people. So the more time I have to spend with you, to talk with you, to get you organized, the better you'll feel about the whole thing. You won't feel rushed. You won't feel overwhelmed and crazy and ready for a meltdown.
All right, listen. Okay, enough about me. All right, let's go to Eleanor in Allison Park for the Pittsburgh property diva, Lauren Klein, Coldwell Banker, Murraysville, KDK Radio. Hi, Eleanor.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Eleanor.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Lauren, for this show. You really have a lot of valuable information.
Thank you.
I do have a question about the seller's assist.
Okay.
And you said it's because the buyer doesn't have enough money to meet closing costs.
Yes.
And does the seller need proof of that, or can the buyer just demand this amount of money?
Well, not demand it, ask for it. Whether the seller gives it to the buyer is up to the seller. The important thing to know, Eleanor, is that, and I'll use the $100,000 house just as an example because
I want to use an example too.
if you list your house for $100,000 and you have in the back of your head anything, I would like to really sell this house for $94,000. Okay, so you have a number in your head, and the buyer says to you, Eleanor, I love your house. I can get a loan for $100,000, and I have my 3.5% down to come to closing, and I'm going to pay for my appraisal and my home inspections, but I need 6% seller assist from you to get to the closing table. Well, your net is $94,000, which is exactly what you wanted. Okay, so sometimes.
Well, what if it makes it less than what you wanted?
Well, there's ways to negotiate that. You can negotiate a little bit of seller's assist and a little bit on the sale price, so that everybody gets what they want. Okay.
Yeah, well, if the buyer will go along with that,
right?
Maybe they just say, okay, if you don't give it to me, I walk away.
Right, and some buyers do that because they don't have the flexibility.
Well, here's what I want to say. What if the buyer is pre-approved for a mortgage loan, $100,000 more than what I'm selling my house for?
Well, that agent that presented you an offer with a pre-approval, $100,000 over what they wrote the contract for, they played their hand.
What does that mean?
That means that you know that they can afford more than what they've written the offer for.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have.
They want to do, make changes, and or something like that in the house.
Sure. The way the negotiations break down is that you can do any combination of adjustment on the sale price or no adjustment on the sale price and the seller assist up to the limit allowed by the lender and the type of loan that they get. So if you have a number in your head, it's up to the agents to negotiate to get you as close as possible to that magic number. If that magic number is unrealistic given the market, then everybody needs to reevaluate the contract.
Okay. But when you say negotiate to get close to the magic number, that means the whatever you're going to get, the buyer is going to receive for the house. I mean, the seller's going to receive for the house.
Right.
And so you can use any combination of seller assist and
price
sales
reduction.
Price.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is a lot more complicated than I realized.
Well, you know what? It's as complicated as your agent makes it for you. Okay. And I think it's very important to have these discussions up front. Like when I sit with a seller, I say the chances of you getting an offer where somebody's asking you for seller assist are high. Okay. Just depending
that's
on.
I want to understand. Yes.
Right. Right. So it's not uncommon. It's nothing to be offended about. Okay. I think sometimes sellers are really offended by it.
No, I don't want to give money to the buyer when they already have plenty of money.
Right, right.
I mean, really?
right. I get that a lot. I want you to.
I'm not offended. I just think that's. But
you just disagree with it.
Well, that part, yes. But the real point is whatever they're coming to, combination of sales price and seller's assist. The market value of the house.
Correct. So you want to make sure that what the number that you have in your head is realistic with the market that you're in.
Right. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if you can get to that magic number through a combination of negotiating the sale price and the seller assist, and everybody feels like they're getting what they want, that's a win.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Did I help you?
Yes, you
okay,
did.
Good.
All right, Eleanor, thank you for the call. We'll come back. One more segment with Lauren Klein, Pittsburgh Property Diva, then life-changing medicine with the good folks at UPMC, then the guys from True Value, and then we have a half hour of AAA Central Stocking Travel, countdown to the Thanksgiving holiday with Marita Williams from Product Development, and then it's tip-off Pitt basketball because the football team taking on Wake Forest on 93.7 The Fan, Pitt IMG Sports. Today it is the Pitt Panther men's basketball team. They're in action against North Alabama. We'll have that for you at 11:30. All today on KDK Radio.
Hey, my day is today. Are you going my way?
All right, one more segment before we make way for Melinda Roeder, the latest news and power outages because of the weather that we experienced over the last couple of days. And always happy to talk to the good people at UPMC. They'll be here in the 9 o'clock hour. Talk to me a little bit about just where you are right now as a real estate professional, your mindset. I mean, I know you're supposed to be thinking mistletoe and holly and winding it down, Hanukkah, Christmas.
I'm in full gear for 2019 right now, and
I think it's going to be a good market. Let me just give you a side note. Right now, there was a story back home. All kinds of housing development underway in Beaver County. I'm talking, condominiums, multi-dwellings, residential properties, commercial property, lots of things going on. And the big question is there going to be enough? So that tells me it's going to be a good year.
I have a feeling, just like this past year, I thought this past year, 2018, was a wonderful Pittsburgh market. Our cost of living still is much lower than it is in other, heavy duty metropolitan cities. And I think 2019 is going to be excellent. I am blessed to work with some of the nicest, kindest clients, colleagues, mortgage people, title companies. This time of the year, I'm really reflecting on the last, 11 months on the market, counting my blessings like I do every year. I am so grateful.
But that comes through a lot of hard work.
Yes, it does. But, I couldn't do it without the people that trust me and call me and say, I want you to do this for me. That means the world to me. That's what I really live for, that and my children and my family. But professionally, I have been blessed many, many times over. I'm happy to help anybody that needs a hand. In closing, I know we only have a couple minutes. If you know somebody who needs a turkey, if you need a turkey, I will have one delivered to you on Wednesday via my Facebook page, Pittsburgh Property Diva. You could go on there and just give me a little story. I need a turkey. I'm giving away 5 and I'll have it delivered. That's my way of saying thanks, Pittsburgh. I love you. I love you, Rob. I love KDK.
We love you.
And, it's a time to really give thanks and reflect and by golly, be good. Okay.
I just would like to give away like a bucket of gravy. Just walk up with a true value bucket of gravy.
I would never make gravy. I can't make gravy. I make the lousiest, lumpiest gravy. My mom's, I don't know if my mom's listening right now, but man,
hey,
she knows. Don't put me on gravy.
Listen, thank you. Thank you. And sorry about the loss of your uncle. And
Thank you.
And I hope you and your husband and your kids and your parents, that you just have an amazing holiday, and we'll see you here real soon.
I'll be back in 2 weeks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting warmed up. News at 9, Melinda Roeder, live and local, talking about the power outages because of the inclement weather, and then the great folks from UPMC, Life-Changing Medicine, all coming up as we continue on KDK Radio.
Oh.